Hello and welcome to the shop. This is a special evening for me because tonight I'm going to get the chance to cross something off my bucket list. Steve Kondo is a segmented blank maker and he makes some of the most amazing segmented blanks. And I just so happen to have a set of his blanks. I am super excited. If you don't know who Steve is, jump over on Facebook, that's where he's the most active, and look up Steve Kondo and you'll see who he is. He's incredible. The work he does is just absolutely amazing. I just received a junior gent kit and I just acquired the proper bits, and tonight I'm going to get these blanks drilled out and I'm going to get the tubes glued in, and the next opportunity I get I'm going to turn a Steve Kondo junior gent. This is going to be amazing. I am super excited about it and I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. I'm preparing to drill a lower blank. This is going to use a 10.5 millimeter bit. I wanted to give you kind of a close-up shot of the blank so you can just see how beautiful it is. I'm going to be extremely careful. Normally when I drill a blank I just eyeball it, but you'll notice on this one I've gone ahead and drawn the lines to find the dead center because I want to go right down the middle of this blank. I've already taken a machinist square and verified that my table is square to my bit on all four sides, as well as my vise is square to my bit on all four sides. We are going to take our time, we're going to drill extremely slow, and hopefully we end up with a gorgeous straight hole right down the center of this beautiful blank. Let's see how we did. Oh, perfect, perfect. We are right down the center. Take a look at the line. See how it goes right down the line? That's beautiful, beautiful. All right, let me get the bottom blank over here and we'll get that one drilled. I've got my bottom blank in the vise. I found dead center. I'm drilling from, what I did is you have a choice with Steve's blanks. The chevrons can either point down or up. I've elected to make my pin with the chevrons pointing down, so I drilled through the first blank from this side so that I went right down the middle through the chevrons. I've got this blank in the vise the exact same direction, so I'm going to drill from the top right through. This is the lower blank, this is the upper blank. This requires a 12.5 millimeter bit, and that's just what the junior gent requires, so we're going to go ahead now and get this blank drilled out. And it looks like I drilled right through the center perfect. I'm really happy about that because I was nervous about messing these blanks up. With the blanks drilled out, I'm now ready to glue the tubes into them. I've sufficiently scuffed both tubes. I'll be using a medium CA, no activator, and I'm just going to let the blanks set overnight and let the CA fully cure before taking them to the lathe and turning them. I'm over at my disc sander and I've chosen the proper size punch for each of the blanks. And I'm just going to go ahead and true the ends up. It's not going to take a lot because you can see that these blanks were cut pretty close to where they needed to be. I've got both blanks trimmed perfectly and we're ready to head over to the lathe and start turning. I've decided to turn this blank between centers, which means I'll have to turn the cap section, which is what you're looking at, separate from the base of the pin. We'll go ahead and get this turned, sand it, and ready for finish, and then we'll turn the base and we'll bring them both back and I'll use a mandrel to apply my CA finish. Got my blank turned down exactly to the bushings. Now what I want to do is get the sandpaper out. We'll get it sanded nice and smooth and ready for a finish. I got the bottom half turned. I'm going to go ahead and sand it up, and we'll come back and get a little finish put on this blank. I'm going to clean the blank up with a little denatured alcohol. I like to start by wiping with the grain because, especially on these segmented blanks where there's little glue lines, it gets any dust that might be in those glue lines out. And then we go ahead and flip the lathe on, and this will give you kind of a quick peek of what this blank is going to look like. It's going to be gorgeous when it's finished. All right, I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to let this sufficiently dry. We want to make sure all the moisture's out of it. No touching it with our fingers at this point because it is cleaned of all oils and dust. Once you can see the DNA evaporating very quickly. Once it's fully evaporated, I'll come back and we will put our CA finish on the pen. I didn't bother filming the application of CA glue or the micro meshing of my blanks because I've done that so many times in other videos and I thought it might be a bit repetitive. But I really think these are going to pop when they're buffed. So I thought you might like to watch that process. This will be my first time assembling a junior gent, so I just want to go slow and make sure I don't make any silly mistakes. We're going to start with the body, and we have this nib coupler that we're going to press in. It's got a threaded end on one side and a compression end on the other, and the compression end goes down at the bottom end of our blank. Okay. Make sure we go nice and slow. I'm kind of rotating the blank as I do this. There we go, especially in the beginning, just to make sure that I don't go in at an angle. I want to go as straight in as possible. As soon as I placed the nib coupler into the front section of my pen, I realized I had made a mistake. Notice the lip around the coupler. The junior gent on the front section has two bushings. One is a little smaller than the other. I did not read the instructions close enough. I put the smaller bushing toward what I thought was the front of the pen and the larger bushing towards what is the back of the front section of the pen. It's just the reverse. So what I'm going to do, all is not lost. My pen will just have the segment pointing up, or the chevron pointing up as opposed to pointing down. I'm going to take a punch. I'm going to knock this out. I'll repress it into this end, and we'll continue assembling our pen. Luckily, we had not assembled the cap yet, so to flip the cap over, the bushings on it are the same on both ends. It should not be a problem. That'll just make sure that we're in the proper orientation. I have selected the proper size punch to fit my tube, and I've placed the tube in my protective pliers. Now what I'm going to do is just tap the tube until the nib coupler comes out of the front of the pin. There we go. Now we'll flip this over and we'll simply press it into this side. I won't make this mistake a second time. Once again, I'm going to rotate the pin as I start to press, simply because I want to make sure that I'm going in at the perfect angle. Now that's much better. As I bring this up to the camera, you can see I've got a perfect fit with the coupler and the blank. Let's go ahead and press the end cap into the front section of the pin. Once again, I'll rotate my blank just to make sure I'm starting straight. There we go. Now you can see I've got a perfect fit between the end cap and the blank. I wish I would have paid a little closer attention to the instructions in regard to the bushings, but still, that is an incredible looking pin. We'll drop our spring into the back of the pin, remove the cap from our ink refill, drop that into the pin. We'll take the front nib and it threads right onto the coupler, or right into the coupler. Now we'll turn our attention to the cap. What I want to do is I want my cap to align with my pin. I am going to try to be a little smarter here. So what I'm going to do, before I press the cap into the center band coupler, I'm going to go ahead and thread the center band coupler onto the back half of the pin. Then I'll line my cap up, and hopefully my press is long enough. It is. I'm just going to start the press. There we go. And the reason why I'm doing this is that way when the pin is closed, I get a perfect alignment between the cap and the nib. Now I can remove the lower section, put a couple of those back in place. We'll go ahead and press this together. And then I should be able to thread it, and it should align perfectly every time. And now for the clip. I think I want the clip, whoops. There's a clip and a cap, and the cap goes through the clip, and then it slides onto the pin. Now I'm not sure exactly. Let me put this together and see if I can pick. I'm almost thinking I want it to go right down through here. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so we're going to be very careful. I'm going to lay that back here. My table is a little bit, it needs to be shimmed. It's a little imperfect, and I'm afraid that's going to roll off onto the floor. That's the last thing I want to do, is damage it after I put so much work into it. Now I'm just going to basically hold the clip in place while I finish pressing the cap. There we go. Bring our lower section back around. And we have got one gorgeous pin. Just take a look at that. That is incredible. What a beautiful blank. What a beautiful kit. I forgot to mention that I got this kit from Chad Schimmel. I'll put a link to Chad's webpage. He has a store, and I'll put a link to his website in the comments below, as well as I've contacted Steve to see if he wanted me to put a link for contacting him in case anyone was interested in one of these blanks. If he sends me back a link, I will include that in the comments below. Otherwise, he can be found on Facebook. I would really like to thank you for joining me for the turning of this Steve Kondo Gisi style pin blank. This has been on my turner's bucket list for a long time. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to turn one. A while back, Steve had a contest over on Facebook, a giveaway, and I have no idea how, but I won. And because of that, Steve sent me these blanks, and he sent me something else. This is not only a Steve Kondo blank, this is turned by the master himself. And he sent this to me, and this is a prized possession of mine. It's a treasure because he is one of my favorites. The only thing I have left to do on my turner's bucket list for Steve Kondo is I want to learn how to make these blanks from the master himself. And if I'm correct, I do believe that Steve will be attending the Midwest Ohio Valley Pen Turners Gathering in 2018, September of 2018, and I do believe he's going to be giving a class. And I guarantee you, if he is, this old boy is going to be in that class. Now, this blank means a great deal to me, and I would honestly love to keep this pen for myself, but I already have one, and this one means a little bit more because Steve made it for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this pen away, and I'm going to give it to a very special person. A while back, you guys know that I had some lathe troubles, and Sean Shirley contacted me and sent me his old lathe, the Turncrafter that I'm now using. He gave that to me out of the kindness of his heart, and I want to say thank you to Sean. So as much as this blank and this pen means to me, this is going to be a gift. I'm going to get it in the mail, and I'm going to send it up to Sean so that I can say thank you for his kindness. Sean, thank you so much. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I truly appreciate it. The kindness of the people in this group stuns me. So this is coming your way. Keep your eyes out, and let me know when you get it. Guys, I would truly like to thank you for joining me in the shop today. This was a pleasure beyond pleasures. I truly enjoyed myself, although I was nervous. I'll be honest with you. I held my breath during some of the turning because I did not want to screw this one up. But it was a true pleasure for me. It was an honor. This was a day I've been looking forward to for a very long time, and I had an incredible time. So I want you to know that you are always welcome in my shop. Come back and see me again real soon, and have a great day, everybody.